Hi, welcome to the Practical Planning course. I'd just like to give you a little bit of background about how we came to produce this course. Aspire Europe's consultancy arm spent a lot of time using P3M3, Project Programme Portfolio Management Maturity Model, to review the effectiveness of organisations and identify areas they could improve. And after a couple of years, it became patently obvious that there was the same root cause problem in most organisations, and that was that they were rubbish at planning. Okay, now if you ask most members of the public or members of staff in organisations what they expect from project and programme managers, they say you should be able to plan. So I looked at this a bit more, and obviously the Aspire Academy delivers training courses, and we looked at if you had the top 3 qualifications, so MSP for programmes, Prince 2 for projects, and possibly in the UK the APM body of knowledge qualification, or overseas the PMI body of knowledge, you would expect to have found a lot of planning in there, but the truth was there isn't actually. If you did all 3 of those courses, you'd probably not have done a total of 1 day's planning training in 15 days of learning. Okay, so we thought something needs to be done about this, and if nobody else is going to pick this cudgel up, I will. So the result has been this book, The Practical Guide to Planning. Now, it was a really interesting journey for us because I started off thinking it'd be a bit of straightforward advice and that we'd put together some guidance, but it hasn't quite worked out that way, because when I started to think about the elements and techniques in planning, I realised each stage of the way that the source of the problems with planning got earlier and earlier in the life cycle. So I started off thinking about doing schedules, but it goes right back to the very first thing you do, which is set the project's objectives. That is the cause for failure, and everything else follows from it. So in the book, we came up with 4 steps that you should follow. Number 1, we need to define what the plan needs to do. So we need to think about where it starts and the key elements of it. It's only once we've defined what it needs to achieve, we can then start to design it. We can start to think about what level of detail it needs to go to, how far ahead we need to plan. Once we have that bit of information, we can then think about developing the plan, because we don't need a hugely complicated plan if it's quite a simple task. Okay, but the root causes of this are the fact we don't think the plan through. The planning starts about when we're in the middle of looking for a business case and we start throwing a load of tasks into Microsoft Project. That's actually what happens, and that is the worst thing that you can do. And then once we've actually got into delivering it, we have to deliver the plan, which is make sure that the project stays online with a plan. Really, that's the area of project controls. Okay, so that's the way the book's set out. But in this course, we've gone for a slightly more classical identify, analyse, plan, deliver, etc., review, etc. So it fits in with all our other materials. But that's the background to the course. And if you want a useful reference, go get yourself a copy of the book. But nearly all that is in the course, so you're going to get it anyway. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back at the start of each section to give you a bit of a heads up about why we've done it that way. Okay, look forward to seeing you later.